Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and it's Friday. Fridays I like to share a card from the catalog or one of Stampin' Up's brochures. It's my favorite place to find inspiration. Sometimes I case, copy, and share everything. The projects exactly like they are. Sometimes I change them a little, sometimes I change them a lot. But there's always something fun that you can do with the projects and cards, the things that are found inside Stampin' Up's publications. So today is the last day I'm going to be making a card from the Sale-a-bration brochure for January and February of 2022. It is February 25th. Mind-blowing. This year is flying by already. So there's only just a few days left of Sale-a-bration. So I didn't want to miss this chance to share one more card. And in fact, at the end, I have several cards to show you. I kind of went crazy this week. So this card can be found in this brochure on page 16. I was thinking it was 15, but it's 16. So it's this little card right here. The one in the catalog is 4 inches, but we have these adorable little 3-inch envelopes. So I decided to try to squish this little card down into a 3-inch card, and I did it. So let me flip my camera around and I'll show you how that works. So, I am going to be using, instead of the colors in the catalog, I did make one of those, and I'll show it to you later. But instead of that, I'm going to be using Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. So I have a sheet of Bermuda Bay cardstock cut 3 inches by 6 inches, and then I scored it at 3 inches, so it's a 3-inch square card. Then I have another piece that I cut 2 7/8 of an inch. So there's my sneaky little ruler up there in the corner, so you can see where the 7/8 would fall on your ruler or your trimmer. So this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 to go right here across the top. And then I have another piece, and this one I haven't cut down yet. I decided to stamp on it and then cut it down. So let me go ahead and get out my Stamparatus. You don't have to use a Stamparatus with this. However, I do like to use the Stamparatus because with this stamp, sometimes I don't get my image as dark as I want it the very first time. So I can stamp it a couple of times if I want to get it darker. And I don't have to worry about it not being in the right place. I do have to worry about getting my cardstock in the right place. Let's see. I think that's good because I'm going to be trimming quite a lot off of this. Okay, so I'm just inking it up. You don't want to press too hard, but just pat it on there. So now, when I use my Stamparatus, I always pull, see there's a little give, so I always gently pull it out and over when I'm stamping. That way I make sure that I pull it out the same way every time and it stamps in the exact same spot. It's not off at all whenever I restamp. So yeah, I think I need to re-ink this ink pad. Looking better. I'm going to do it one more time. And I think this afternoon I'm going to re-ink my pad. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to just put that to the side for now. And, well, okay, so while I have this ink out, I'm going to grab just a scrap of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp just the part that says little one. So this stamp is from the Celebrating You stamp set. I love that this has so many sentiments on it. It even has Happy Father's Day and Happy Easter. So there's just pretty much, there's one that says so proud of you. Pretty much any occasion that you could think of, you've got a stamp for it with this stamp set. All right, so I'm covering up the welcome with this Post-it note, and I'm just going to ink little one really well. And then I'm going to stamp it onto, I removed the Post-it note because you don't want all that ink just blobbing up on your cardstock there. There we go. There's a perfect sentiment. All right, so now I'm going to get out my Stamp, Cut, and Emboss machine. I want just my plate 1. It says 1. And I'm going to get out my Bouquet of Love embossing folder. So this is a hybrid embossing folder. It is super cool. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put this heart die that goes in it. These come together as a set. And then I'm going to take that little piece of Bermuda Bay. This is the 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Turn it over. And I'm going to center it up on this die. It's not quite centered, so I'm going to scooch it over a little bit. But up and down it looks great. Got to remember which way I'm scooching it. So I'm going to scooch it just a smidge that way. Now I'm going to scooch it just a smidge this way. Okay, that looks pretty perfect. So now I'm going to take my plate 4 and put it on top, and I'm going to emboss and die cut that piece at the same time. There we go. Beautiful piece of cardstock all ready to go. And then we have this gorgeous heart left over. Okay, so now I'm going to get out my plate number 1, my plate number 2, plate number 3, and I'm going to grab this die from Tasteful Labels dies. These are great for stamping sentiments. So I'm going to take that little one, and I'm going to put this all the way over to one edge. I need to turn it going this way. Maybe not all the way. Let's give it a little bit of room. So I'm putting plate 3 on top for my sandwich. And I'm going to just put this, I'm just going to start it. There we go. It's far enough. Then I'm going to adjust my die and make the banner smaller than the die. If that makes sense. And you can feel it when you're adjusting. You can feel it go into those grooves. so there's what we end up with. Just a shorter little banner. And you can do that with any of that type of die. I do it a lot with the stitched rectangle dies to get smaller rectangles. Okay, so this is the way I like to do this. Stamp it on the bigger piece of cardstock, and then I can figure out exactly how I want it to line up. And I stick it over here. And I want it to go, I want it to be a little bit smaller than my top layer. So I'm going to cut it 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So once I get that first one going and I know how I want it, then I can just cut and spin, cut and spin. Okay, so now it's all ready to be put together. I'm going to grab this piece and I'm going to get my Stampin' Dimensionals and just put one in each corner. Plus, I like to put one right here in the middle at the top of the heart. So I have found that the easiest way to do this is to leave this piece upside down, turn this one upside down, and then center it up on the back. Because you've already cut it where you know how you want everything poking out. And this way it's easier to center it up on top of those dimensionals. And then there's what it looks like on the front. Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to take that base card and I'm just going to use liquid glue. You could also use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal, but I like the liquid glue. And I'm just going to stick this right on the center of that card. So these cards with the smaller size, you don't get the bigger border that they had in the card in the catalog, but you can use the envelopes that come or that you can purchase. So I like being able to use those 3-inch envelopes. I just discovered those recently, and I'm finding all these excuses to use them now. All right, so I'm putting a dimensional on one end and a little bit of liquid glue on the other end. And then I'm placing this right over here. And I'm going to use my bone folder to hold that up while I stick it to it, because I don't want to push this cardstock down. I want it to keep its lift up. Okay, so one final thing. In the catalog, they used gilded gems. I don't have the gilded gems embellishments. So I decided to go back to just my basic rhinestone jewels. These are so pretty. You can never go wrong with these. And if you want, you can even add color to them with your Stampin' Blends. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put them on like they are for a little bit of bling. I'm using my trusty take your pick tool to get that done. All right, so there is our adorable little card. I love it so much. Okay, so I do want to do a couple more things before I finish with this card. I really love that embossing folder. So what I'm going to do is for my envelope, I'm going to grab that plate 1 again, and I'm going to get that embossing folder out again. So I'm going to open up my envelope. Hope you can see this. I'm opening up my envelope and I'm sticking it right inside of this embossing folder. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can hold it up here. So can you tell that the fold is right, it's lined up right with the edge of the embossing there. I don't guess you can see that, huh? Okay, take my word for it. It really is. So now I'm going to put the number 4 folder or plate on top. And I'm just going to run that through real quick. All right, so now just the flap is embossed, and I embossed it upside down. I guess it really doesn't matter. It can be either way. But I like to do it the other direction usually. So you can leave it like it is. If I had done it this side, I would have used my trusty little blending brushes and added a little bit of ink to that. But that's okay. We'll just leave it like this and leave it plain. I'm really hoping I can get it up there. There you go. And you can see, hopefully, the detail of those flowers and leaves. There it is. So pretty. Okay. So, I am going to go ahead and take that blending brush, though, and my Bermuda Bay. And what I'm going to do is just go over the edges. This is easier if I do it on a scrap piece of paper. There's a scrap. There we go, for a soft blend instead of that harsher color I got up there in the corner. Decided I should probably make it match that first little blob of color a little bit. Okay, so then I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the back. You don't want to add too much liquid glue. It really doesn't take a lot. You can see that it's very fine lines that I have on there. Not thick at all. You don't want it squishing out the sides or going crazy on you. Okay, so then there's the inside of our card. It's just a little snazzed up. So I wanted to show you though that you can do this with many colors. So I did Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and you can see how the envelope looks whenever you emboss it and then add a little bit of color with that blending brush. This one says Just For You. So we have little one, Just For You, lots of love, and I decided to use the basic pearls on the ones that say love. So lots of love with basic pearls. Thank You, again with the rhinestones. And Lovely You. This is what they did in the catalog, but I added the pearls for this one too. So this one layout, you can do cards for pretty much any occasion, and you can do any color scheme. One that I didn't do, that I'm kind of regretting, I might go back and do it later, is Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. That would be gorgeous. So I also now have all of these hearts that I need to think of something to do with. So I don't know why I have that one. That one's not embossed. But there's all of these colors, and they look pretty stinking good together. So I'm going to have to think of something to do with these later. And then I told you I had another card from the catalog to show you. So I was on a roll with these 3-inch cards. They are so cute, so fast and easy, and perfect to slip into a gift package. So I got a little carried away and I made some of the other ones. And again, some of these were 3 inches in the catalog, and some of them were a little bit bigger, but I made them all work on a 3-inch card so I could use the 3-inch envelopes. So there is this one. I love this one. I love all of these actually. Happy Happy Day and Love, and with the little bird, and the ephemera pack from Expressions in Ink. And then of course I decorated the flaps with coordinating designer series paper, or in this case I stamped it and used my blending brushes to make it match this piece, which is also just blending brushes and the butterfly stamp. So this is Daffodil Delight and Magenta Madness. Okay, so one last thing. You can get these boxes. They're acetate boxes. They come flat. So you just unfold them. Give them a little crease. And then you can put all these gorgeous cards inside. I'm going to put that butterfly one on the outside. Inside this box, so they're handy. You know, it keeps them organized so that you know exactly where they are and exactly what you've got. Or they make great gifts as well whenever you have them packaged up like that. So, and you can fit 5 per box. So let me go ahead and fold this one up, and then I'll put all of these matching cards in this one. Oh, I just knocked off a pearl. My pearls are, well, some of my pearls are very old, some of them are very new. And I think I've kind of beat up the old ones over the years. Okay. So yeah, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And they fit in here perfectly, even with all of those Stampin' Dimensionals that I used. Every one of these cards has a layer of Stampin' Dimensionals, and they still fit absolutely perfectly inside this. And you could decorate this box if you wanted to give it as a gift, but I think that the cards showing through are gorgeous just like they are. I might tie a bow and put a little tag on it, but I don't think I would decorate it any more than that. Thank you for watching my video today. I really appreciate you sticking through. And if you saw something that you would like to order, I'm going to leave my links in the description. And my host code for this month is also in the description if you'd like to use that for any orders under $150. I totally appreciate it. And of course, I will send you a gift in the mail when you place your order. It's a small gift, but nonetheless. So thanks again for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy stamping.